So when do you usually write music? When do you come up with ideas?
Well, I can come up with music anywhere. Mostly the songs that really make it in the end for me happen to start in a studio where I can play an instrument. I don't really like to start a song on a computer because that feels so constructed to me. When I have a piano or something I can play on, it's always very natural, and I think if you play music, you come up with things you would not come up with if you just click on buttons. You know, it ends up always sounding the same for some reason. So most of my music starts in a studio when I just play, like Spectrum, for example. I just played chords until I couldn't come up with something very unique in the chord progression. But there's also been times where I had no sleep for 3 days because I had to fly from Brazil to America for a video shoot and then to Australia. And I wrote a song like in the plane because I was hallucinating and my brain was doing weird things, and I came up with something very interesting.
Spectrum, which you started from piano and you made that became a hit, but what is the feeling there, and what kind of feeling would you like people to get from that, or convey?
Well, I mean, basically I want everyone to feel what I feel when I write a song or a hit, whatever you want to call it. You know, when usually when you get a certain feeling in your body, and it's hard to describe it. You know, it's somewhere between making you want to cry and laugh at the same time. You know, it's very uplifting, but at the same time very emotional. That's the kind of emotion I like to get to people, and you know, I try to achieve that by using very unconventional chords and melodies that other people would not use. So it's very new and fresh, but the kind of feeling you get, you know, is still, you know, everyone knows the feeling when you're kind of sad and emotional, but at the same time very uplifting, and I think that's a very interesting moment to catch.
And that uniqueness of yours, probably Lady Gaga, you know, had picked up. That's why she wanted you to produce and work with you on the album. But how was it working with Gaga?
Well, I mean, it's amazing. You know, Lady Gaga is an artist that is not only a singer. She's obviously a singer, but she's also a musician. She knows how to play instruments, and she understands music, and that's always a difference working with an artist that follows your lead, sings what you tell him to sing, against working with an artist that has an own opinion, you know, where you say, you know, let's do this, and then she might say, but, you know, I want to do this sound, or I want to do this chord, and, you know, I think you get a different result than if I would make it myself, because, you know, I won't fight with myself. You know, I decide I want to do this, so I do this, but if there's another opinion saying, let's try this out, and you go different routes, and you end up on a place you would never do yourself.
You're probably actually right now in the middle of making of the album, but if you could tell us what kind of songs you are now working on, and if any requests that you have got from her.
Well, you know, there's been requests from her when she had a vision for a song, whatever this vision would be, and my job is obviously to try to make the sound that she probably has in her head at that moment. So that has happened, and I guess the way you could really imagine this music is really a good mix of her and myself, you know. The reason I work with her is because I'm a big fan of her voice and the way she makes music. And, you know, I guess the reason she wanted to work with me is because she liked my music, so there was not a lot of, you know, do this and that, and I had to do something I didn't like. She likes my style and I love her style, so it was really like we tried to make something unique together, something new and fresh that sounds like her and that sounds like me.